Why the government's new spiking measures continue to fail women. We're going to read into this argument, from Byline Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here. An article from Byline Times with the headline that stopping male violence must focus on men, and why the government's new spiking measures will continue to fail women. Despite more than 6,700 reports of spiking in England and Wales, the government's new initiative falls short of meaningful action, writes Reclaim These Streets co-founder James Kingler. So, obviously, spiking drugs, and whether it's men or women, is abhorrent. And I know people have been talking recently about, obviously, James Cleverly and the comments that he made. But I want to read into more about the measures that the government are introducing with an attempt to try and bring this down. Is it going to work? Is it going to make a difference? I think is the question that we need to ask ourselves. And we're going to read an argument of why it is failing women. And there's no place whatsoever for doing this whatsoever. If this is a way to try and woo women, or God forbid to rape them, you guys know it's just wrong in any way. There's no justification for any spiking of drinks whatsoever. There's no justification whatsoever for it, and it's despicable whether it's on women or for men. And while it's all well and good to introduce tougher sentences or tougher sentences and crimes, we have a little problem where our prisons are kind of overcrowded at the moment. So it's like, if criminals know that prisons are overcrowded, gives them more of an incentive, for them. And if less people are getting convicted, again, more incentive for people to get away. This is the other thing as well. So where's the logic here? Why, if the government is serious about this, then they would address some of the other aspects in order to ensure that those who are caught doing it and get punished are actually given the punishment that they deserve for it. Would they not? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's read into it, you guys. So, in the 12 months of April 2023, police have had 6,732 reports of spiking in England and Wales, charged 4 people, not 4%, and charged 4 people, not 4%, 4 people. Wait a minute. They've had 6,732 reports of spiking in England and Wales, and only 4 people have been charged out of that report. So that means 6,728 have not been charged. Are we seriously going to believe that all those other people are innocent? No, I don't think we are. The new spiking initiative that the government announced this week are partly, I'm going to just say, essentially crap from what their perception. The measure, which includes research into self-testing kits, more training of door staff, and better education for young people to raise awareness about the threat, will not help increase charging and arrests of perpetrators. A club having a test kit to see if you were spiked doesn't identify as the predator. It's not pervasive. I can't say that word, sorry. Ministers aren't making spiking a specific crime that police can charge. What we will see is a low-level rollout to pubs, clubs and restaurants to give them some spiking kits. A couple of hundred venues will be dodged by perpetrators where there are thousands potentially affected. When the government strategies addressing male violence against women aren't directed at men, they are part of the problem. Predators aren't afraid to spike women because they are almost guaranteed not to get caught. That's what needs fixing, not women testing their drinks. Our safety should be a priority to the government and police, but once again they are starkly demonstrating that our lives are not worth prioritising. All the half measures make no demonstrable difference to women's safety, but allow politicians to pretend that they care about women's safety. So often we talk about spiking, we only talk about the consequences and how to protect ourselves. It's not about the men that are drugging and raping us. It is on them to stop, not me. if standing on a soapbox solves the violence against us, it would have been solved a long time ago. Yeah, this is so from what this is the picture that's being painted in the article so far is that they're trying to make it sound as if like, you know, let's let the pubs and let's the clubs that where they're getting done, let's let them deal with it. And I'm like, you're the government, you're supposed to be dealing with it. It just seems like another case of the government trying to pass the buck. I think you guys know that reference, you know, taking less ownership and responsibilities for their actions and letting others deal with it as well. Seeing is not believing. None of these measures matter when police do not believe us when we report our attackers. Yeah, this is also another thing as well, is when people report a crime, police are supposed to take them seriously. Okay, they're supposed to take them seriously. There's too many times where police are informed of crimes or whatnot, and it's kind of just like, okay, there's no follow-up to it, and that's the other problem. There is a 1.7% conversion rate for rape. On a collective level, checking to see if our drinks was drugs is not going to make us sustainably safer or more believed by authorities. The former Deputy Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police reportedly told women at the helm of the Operation Sohiska in a meeting about why the rape conviction rate is so low that the bulk of rape is regretful sex. So they have sex with that woman and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry that I drugged you and raped you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're sorry now, but you've already caused the damage. Yet when they do it, they know what they're doing is wrong, but they still do it. They shouldn't be allowed to walk away from it. Is a kit proving that you were drugged is going to make the police speak for us like we are human? This is how low the bar is. In the largest study of its kind of rape and sexual assault victims with the experience of reporting their attacker, the women said they wanted to be treated like they are human. That simply isn't happening. We aren't believed. We aren't told that we would make bad witness. That is our word against theirs. Now we have to give the police our phones, that our therapy sessions could be used against us. Part of the amazing work of Operation Topeka, a research and change program that aims to transform the way police forces investigate rape and serial sex offences, is shifted the focus of rape prosecutions from the victim to the man responsible. How is this a new and novel approach? It's infuriating, but it is desperately needed. You're missing the point. 3 years ago, I gave my first lecture at the UK Centre of Events Management Studies at the Leeds Beckett University. As a result, the students did a major piece of work around women's impact on the nighttime economy in Leeds and what's needed to be done to address their safety concerns. The students I spoke to talked about it as a horrible rite of passage, about using hair scrunchies to cover their drinks, of only drinking out of bottles to keep their thumbs over the tops, and mostly about being on watch for each other. None spoke about the RSE lessons about why men think they are entitled to our attention and consent. Yeah, that's right. Like, what happened to the days of simply trying to chat a woman up at the bar? You know, what happened to that? Like, if you shoot your shot, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, it's why do you feel that you need to cheat? You know, sorry, but you know, you're not always going to get somebody you want sometimes. You know, there are plenty of other ways to woo a girl than drugging them or spiking their drink. We know that misogyny in the police makes us hesitant to report. As women, we are just grateful for getting home in one piece. But we often don't consider why drugs to spike us are so readily available on college campus, or how we go after the men doing the drugging and raping. Is the distribution of testing kits there just to create a sense of vindication when we testify about being spiked? Half the student bars in Leeds are run by students or recent graduates. Are we making them responsible if a woman if she is spiked? How are they meant to get her home? A big part of being spiked is not also being conscious of being able to take care of yourself. How are you meant to go and ask for a manager who's then digging around in a back office for a kit while you are passed out in a puddle in the ladies' room? Using one of my lectures, I brought up an example of Ask Angela posters on the back of the pub doors informing women that if they are on a date and feel unsafe, ask for Angela at the bar and the team will swoop into action and make sure you are protected. Any curiosity ask around will show you that it's not part of any meaningful training, and most of the people behind the bar, although well-meaning, would not have the first clue of how to help a distressed woman in front of them asking for Angela. One of the students asked for Angela in a number of Leeds pubs, and exactly no staff responded the way we were told they are meant to. Us getting home alive and safe isn't on the barmaid. This is the thing, but thinking like to the person behind the counter. I mean, there are obviously some good people at certain pubs and clubs and all that will obviously look after the customers and whatnot, but there's some there where they're not gonna go above and beyond for you. Like they'll like, if in a desperate situation, they may call a cab for you and whatnot, but they're not gonna literally carry you home, sort of thing. There's a line they'll go, but there needs to be assurances that they're gonna get to where they get home safely, and they're not gonna get that in some places. There needs to be, perhaps, maybe thinking now, perhaps there needs to be some kind of law. Maybe there needs to be something that, like, there needs to be a code name or code word or something for women if they are in danger or whatever, that perhaps clubs and pubs need to be aware of, so that they can take measures to ensure that that person is protected or whatever. Maybe there needs to be some kind of law legislation to be looked into place to protecting women from getting spiked. What could that be, and how that could be? Maybe that's something that should be considered, guys. The new measures don't actually make it clear that spiking is illegal or set out the constitutional penalties for spiking, and I'm tired of measures that put the onus of responsibility of not getting drugged back onto the victims, instead of dealing with the men we aren't safe around. Men need to learn simply that spiking women's drinks is wrong. That's the basic gist of it. And if you're not going to teach them that it's wrong, they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep passing it on to the next generation and so forth. Needs to be dealt with. It's wrong in every way, shape or form. There's no two ways about this. This is not how you pick up a girl. A reminder, 4 people are charged a year for spiking. Yet every young woman at Leeds Speckett I spoke to said they have been spiked, some multiple times. Women will continue to employ strategies to keep ourselves safe and alive, and look out for our friends, who will continue to live with pervasive fear, knowing that we have to try and keep ourselves alive because the police and the government certainly aren't going to do anything for us. Men need to stop drugging, raping and killing us. Any strategies around stopping male violence against women needs to focus on the men, not me. Yeah, it needs to be. Now, obviously, I'm speaking as a man, and I'm not somebody who goes out clubbing and whatnot, so I just want to put that little caveat in there, just to put at that point, if you haven't already figured that out. You don't need to do it. And there's no, I don't see, like, I get the feeling that these guys and men that do this, they get a joy out of doing it as well. They're getting a joy out of doing it, and it's like at the detriment to the women, and they think, oh, it's fine, they'll be fine the next day and whatnot, and not think of too much about it, and they think it's okay. They think it's okay to do it. They think it's almost like it's normalized to them, where they need to be told and they need to be taught that no, this is not okay, this is not alright, this is wrong, you cannot do this. They have rights too, women have rights too, and they should not be the ones, they should not have to watch their back, they should not have to check their drink, they should not have to have a third eye open, just because you might fancy taking her out or whatever, and you get rejected or whatever, and then you're going to try and drug them up, and there's no justification in any way, shape or form for spiking women's drinks. Now these reports obviously are damning, 6,700 reports. And the thing is, the problem is because it's so on the lower echelons of the police, they're not going to give a damn. So the number of reports, that's just those that are reported. How many do you think is happening that aren't reported? I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than double that. More than double that number. More than 15,000 potentially. That's how crazy I think it is. So what do you guys think? What should be done? What can be done? And if we had a reasonable police force, what should they be doing? If we had the police numbers, if we had the prison spaces, if we had the right laws, if you had the power, what would you do to make a difference? Rehabilitation programs, education at a young age. There's lots of ideas that we can bounce around. So let's bounce some ideas and thinking, what can we do to ensure that women should not have to be the ones having to take the onus to protect themselves from getting spiked? And also, it should be the same for whether you're male or female. Getting your drink, spiking your drink should be wrong. Should the law be more severe on those who do get caught doing it? Let me know what you guys honestly think in the comments section down below. Hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media and hit the bell notification icon so you'll be notified when I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me, you can do so by becoming a member on YouTube or joining me on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.